So Diddy went quiet for months and then out of nowhere, he shows up as a voice on a rap project. Not a TV interview, not a press conference, just a calm little speech over music like nothing happened. He says hip hop is in a dangerous place and that we need to raise the vibe.
Hip hop is in a very, very dangerous place. That's why we wait so long. We wait and liven up their souls, lift up their vibration. That's what the things that are good, because good things come to those who wait.
Okay. Meanwhile, the internet's like, bro, read the room. I listened to that clip twice. He sounds tired, like someone trying to sound wise while the walls still echo. And the timing? Wild. It lands right as court dates stack up and headlines refuse to chill. If this was meant to reset the narrative, it felt more like tossing a match into a windy street. Bright for a second, then gone. I'll be real, he doesn't sound triumphant. He sounds hollow, like someone who's been talking to concrete walls for months and finally found a microphone. The voice is slow, careful, almost floaty, but there's grit under it, like sand in the gears. It's the sound you make when you want to project wisdom, but your breath keeps catching on everything you've lost. No chest beating, no I told you so, just a tired sermon about the culture needing light. If you've ever tried to sound calm while your mind runs laps at 3 a.m., that's the vibe. What message did he want out there? To me, it's I'm still a guardian of this thing, not a defense brief, a moral postcard. He's trying to claim purpose beyond courtrooms. Hip hop needs healing, souls need lifting, and patience pays off. It's a safe lane, talk values, not paperwork. But here's the rub. When your world is in legal traffic, philosophy can feel like background music. The intent is clear. Reframe himself as a builder, not a headline. The delivery is softer than people expected, almost bruised. And that contrast is why it sticks. A man who once moved rooms with swagger now whispers about vibration. Does it change minds? Maybe some. Does it change dates on a docket? Not at all. And that's the tension he can't sing past. But that wasn't the whole story. The legal scoreboard looks even messier. Here's the scoreboard. No fluff, he beat the biggest charges. That's why you saw the acquitted headlines. But two Mann Act convictions still sit on the table like unpaid tabs. His team is pushing hard for a do-over or a clean wipe, and the judge agreed to hear them out. That hearing is set first, then sentencing sits right behind it, like back-to-back appointments you can't miss. If the judge bites, those two counts could get a fresh look. If not, the next date decides how heavy the hammer drops. So yeah, he's not free, he's not finished, and the calendar is doing all the talking. And while the legal side loads up, the music side just pour gasoline on the timeline. Then Cardi drops her new album and throws a few spicy lines that light up the group chats. One track takes a swing at BIA and slips in a bar about Diddy's house. It's lyrics, not court files, but you know how this works. One line and suddenly everyone's acting like the neighbor who peeks through the blinds. Fans clip it, post it, and start drawing arrows on rumor boards. I'm not saying any of it's proven. I'm saying rap is messy on purpose, and this line did exactly what it was built to do. Push play counts and poke old wounds. And just when you think it's contained to music, football slides into the chat, and the timeline does what it always does. Connects dots that may not even be on the same page. People start building timelines, drawing lines between public posts and private moments, and suddenly everyone's a detective with a magnifying glass. Here's where I keep it simple. It's buzz, not proof. Interesting? Yes. Final answer? Number. And while the internet argues timestamps, Hollywood quietly makes a move that raised my eyebrow. You know your case made waves when the lawyers turn into celebrities. One of the heavy hitters from his defense pops up on another star's legal team, and now every outlet frames it like a trade deadline deal. That doesn't prove anything about guilt or innocence, it just shows top attorneys stay booked. If you win a high-profile fight, your phone rings. Simple. Still, the optics matter. When your legal squad becomes the it team, the story keeps breathing, even outside your own case. Which brings me back to the Mike cameo. Why talk on a record now? I see two plays here. One, speak to fans without a reporter cutting in. No cross exams, no hostile questions, just your voice over a beat. Two, Remind the industry you still exist outside the courtroom. It's a soft re-entry, not a press tour. Does it work? Depends on what you want. If the goal was to calm the room, it didn't. If the goal was to say, I'm still here, then yes, we heard you. But the gap between music message and legal reality is a canyon. A speech over strings won't move a judge's calendar, and that calendar is about to get loud. The next hearing is the fulcrum. If the judge buys the defense pitch, those two counts get fresh oxygen. If not, the clock moves to sentencing and the stakes get very real very fast. Either way, the outcome shapes everything. How the public reads that album cameo, how labels and artists react, and whether this story slows down or hits another spike. Think of it like a season finale, either a surprise twist or the hammer dropping. And if the twist doesn't come, he finally spoke, but not to a journalist, not to a jury, to the culture. It's symbolic, sure, but symbols don't file motions. Right now, the only voice that truly matters is the one that answers, how do you plead? And do you have anything to say before sentencing? So I'm watching one thing. Will the music move hearts while the court moves outcomes? Because if the mic cameo was step one, step two is either a reset or reality checking in. And that next step is coming faster than anyone wants to admit. So that's where we're at. A calm voice over a beat and a calendar that doesn't care. A verse can warm fans, but it can't warm a judge. The real answers land with the hearing on September 25th. And if nothing changes, sentencing sits on October 3rd. Until then, I'm not buying the everything's fixed talk. He sounds worn down, like he's trying to borrow strength from the music. Maybe that works on headphones, it doesn't move a gavel. Your turn. Does this message make you see him any differently? Or does it feel like PR in slow motion? Drop your take below. I'll pin an update after September 25th so you can see what actually happened, no guesswork. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss the next chapter. I keep it simple, I keep it fresh, and I keep it honest. See you in the comments.